No,
Okay.
no. When we left Fort Leonard Wood, nobody knew where they were going. I mean, they just loaded us on the train, and in fact, we didn't know where we were going till we got close to somebody, how it got out, but somebody said we were going to Camp Pickett, Virginia.
Hello, hello, and welcome once again. J76NY here, and this is part number 3 of our first look at Burden of Command, game that will be released in the first quarter of 2025. Developed and produced by Green Tree Games. I am enjoying my first look at it so far, so we're going to continue on. It's currently 24 September at Camp Pickett, Virginia. Kind of wonder if that camp is still around, what they woke changed the name to, but whatever. Your men trudge down the road towards the next training site. Jeep comes the other way, burdened with big green army bags, mail bags. I think that's our mail lieutenant, Sergeant Bennett asks. Given how the Jeep practically overflows with cargo, some of it has to be for Nickel Company. There could be something for my parents. Who you left behind to set your parents. Okay? My wife or sweetheart. We'll say sweetheart. Everyone has someone waiting at home, and this is where the personalization of the game comes into play. Your characters, I'm assuming, have a backstory. You probably get to know them pretty good during the course of this game. So when they're lost, it actually hits, and they're not just whatever, I lost a couple units, whatever. One of the appeals of the game. So everyone has someone waiting at home. Men are certainly distracted by the possibility of their own letters too. Sergeant Grant glances between Bennett and yourself, clearly eager for orders. Alright, so you get loyalty -1 prestige +2. Loyalty is how favorable the men perceive you. You want your men to be loyal to you. That was something that I do believe is important. So this one will give you loyalty +2, -1 on the prestige. Trust -10. Prestige. Wow. Trust is worthy. 10 trust is worth a. Wow. Let's try that one again. 10 trust is worth approximately 1 prestige or loyalty. There we go. Plus 20 trust, -1 prestige. +2 loyalty. I'm going to go with this one. Yeah, Bennett flagged down the Jeep, and your imposing sergeant does precisely that by standing in the middle of the road and daring the driver to run him down. Brisk discussion results in the transfer of an army sack filled with letters. You know it's bad when you're looking forward to a cold lunch, Private Morris says to the lanky soldier marching beside him. Could be worse, Private Patterson remarks, briefly glancing down at the slightly more rotund Morris. We could be Marines. Yeah. Have Sergeant Bennett quiet the men down. Low chance of +1. Shows the men you understand. Very high chance at +5 trust. Commence the marching cadence. We're going to go with the trust again. It's funny and true. Game speaking, not me, so any Marines out there, no offense intended. Although given the amount of amphibious training that is scheduled ahead, the margin of difference might be slimmer than your men like it. Still, a chuckle sweeps the ranks, and that dispels the consideration of the improbability of a hot lunch. Humor continues right up until the field umpire, that same captain as before, steps over and signals for you to bring everyone to a halt. This is integrated company command operations, the field umpire with the clipboard says. His uniform is somehow crisp, despite the heat, right down to the black band of the field umpire neatly set above his sleeve. The good news is that the next exercise is ready. Bad news is that you, Lieutenant, are not. What do you mean? Are Lieutenant Stern and his mortars part of this, or wait for the twist? This will not be a repeat of the last exercise, though, Field Umpire says. Lieutenant Stern and Lieutenant Dearborn will be part of Blue Force. You yourself will be acting as their captain. Well, I have limited time to consult with them. Limited time, sir? Sergeant Bennett asked in your stead. How limited? Field Umpire taps his watch lightly and then gestures towards a nearby rise. Over top of the rise, you find two lieutenants in the midst of a conversation. Stern paces about, kicking pine cones up with every step. Across from him is a man of bearing, tall without needing height, his hands clasped lightly behind him, Lieutenant Dearborn. Ah, Lieutenant, Lieutenant Dearborn says as he turns to you. We were just discussing strategies while we wait on the captain. I'm the captain for this. Stern will eventually gain 4 trust, or Dearborn. We'll go with Stern. Dearborn says nothing, but upon finding your gaze upon him, he tenders over a little nod of understanding at the situation. What do we know about the enemy? A reinforced platoon from Red Force, Dearborn says, at least 1 machine gun. I didn't hear anything about that in the briefing. Very brief briefing. An umpire may have mentioned it in passing, Lieutenant Dearborn. What kind of tricks do the refs have for us? Red Force isn't entirely in the building unlike last time. They're spread out. Onto the flanks, likely as not. They would guard the obvious approach to our objective. The warning whistle blows in the distance. The flag goes up for a nearby radio man. Exercise is about to begin. Now I am the captain. Okay, let's get to it, Captain, Sergeant Bennett says. The captain is a wild card for orders. He can activate any unit in his company regardless of the active leader by using the Take Command button. Furthermore, a captain can bolster, press, and rally any squad in his company that is merely adjacent to his. In this scenario, you will play on map as Captain Lamb so that you can learn about the captaincy role. Captain provides flexibility with orders. An ordinary leader must be stacked with a combat unit in order to rally. Captain can be adjacent. Okay, so the higher the rank you go, you don't have to be right with them to do bolster and rally. Let's see. He can also bolster rally any company units that are adjacent, essentially allowing multiple platoons to act in teams.
You may think tactical leadership is all about leading men in combat, difficult moral decisions, but frankly, a lot of it's about coordination, or what the military calls command and control. Wouldn't be a credible leadership RPG without some of that. And you've got some problems, LT. Look at you. You're inexperienced. You've got 4 orders to run 3 squads. Contrast the captain. He's got 5 stars. He's got 6 orders to run. Wouldn't it be nice if you had that? Well, maybe someday you will. Now, you're running a platoon. You're not running Stern's weapon platoon. You're running your 3 squads. And the interface reinforces your spotting them. There are ovals for your platoon. They're also over here. And you have an insignia for your particular platoon. Here, reminiscent of the cotton balers insignia. And by the way, you can customize that.
Whistle is blown. Exercise begins.
Mortars, forward.
All right, select
Quickly
the
now.
captain. Rally the adjacent unit. Oh, there he is. Captain. Rally. That squad is getting their shit in gear, but we can press them to do more, Sergeant Bennett notes. Soldiering isn't about big desserts and beds of flowers. Together, you and Bennett get the men moving. There's no time to rest, not yet. The press order, will expend one leader's order, but then refresh a single order for the squad. Okay, so it will expend the leader's order, but give the squad another order. This is most often used when the squad is in a bad position, but is also spent and can't act. Oh, I see what's happening. Squad becomes tired and can't be pressed again until it is rested, or via a rally or a rest command. Okay, select the captain. Press. Then we select the squad. The squad has no order points, so we press.
There's another reason we do leader rounds, to emphasize another coordination problem, namely coordinating your company of 4 distinct platoons, independently led. That's not easy, and so the rounds force you to choose what platoon is doing what. And there's a last reason. The military likes to say, the enemy gets a vote, meaning they're not going to sit quietly while you do all the wonderful things you'd like to do. They might want to do things that interrupt your plan, kind of like happens in chess. You get a move, they get a move.
Nothing like a few sharp words from a sergeant to get a squad moving again. Now we need them to lay down some fire to see whether the enemy is hiding over them or down by fire. Send a messenger to Dearborn, Sergeant Bennett asked his men, and you'll probably have other things to take care of shortly. No comment, the field except say that captain's time is valuable. Why you have subordinates that can act in tandem with. Have Dearborn order a recon by fire without having to pass the round. Captain can expend orders to supplement a platoon's action without having to pass the round. That means the enemy will not have a chance to act for a while longer. Okay, so let's select the squad. First squad, then recon by fire, which fire on the head. Oh. And they're dug in like a dog on Monday. Time for mortars. Nearby, the field umpire makes a note on his clip. Time for mortars. A quick wave of flag gets Stern's attention. Now a question of targets. The ref wants 2 objectives taken, and they want casualties. Mission victory conditions. Both buttons. 2 objectives are marked on your map. Certainly the rest will tell you when you have officially seized them and if the enemy has taken them. They will also tell you if you have inflicted the necessary casualties on the enemy or captured destroyed key battle unit. These clipboards are good for something after all. Here. Okay, so it's just basically a breakdown of what gets you each victory condition or defeat. No one is possession and tricky, at least until someone puts up a proper flag. Casualties are inevitable, at least that is what everyone says, and you know at least one seemingly healthy recruit has dropped dead from an undiagnosed heart condition. But regardless of why it happens, the more casualties a unit suffers, the worse it will be as a fighting unit. And over here you see the breakdown of that. The mission conditions and the men conditions. But right now the men are fresh and take time. All right. Click to view the scenario victory condition. Okay, so victory points 10, victory points 10. Capture at least 2 objectives. Capture at least 2 objectives for a minor victory. Okay. And victory. Okay. View victory conditions. I just did that. Right, I already did that. Select the captain. Click the support button. Access support more. Oh, I'm on the captain. Bam. There we go. Left click the support mortars button. Barrage this hex with. Okay. Flags go up. The enemy over there registers the hits. Mortars have fired. You will shortly have heavier artillery available to you. Proceed to an overlook position and act as spotter for the rounds. Time to move to higher ground. Captain can see all this, which means he can call in. Alright, so select the captain to higher elevation, which is indicated by uh-oh. I forgot to do the waypoints. Waypoints. Okay. Blam! Officers needlessly in the open mean a sniper opportunity. Target's in that house down there.
So let's see some of these leadership problems of command and control in practice. We've got an assault situation. We're hoping to take out these Germans here. To make it a little clearer, let's turn on bases. And why don't I bring down one of my squads? Notice up here it's indicating it's going to be my round because I'm doing something. So it's committed to moving my platoon. Now I could move everybody now, but I want to emphasize you don't have to do everything at once. Let's just say I want to pass to see what the enemy does. So I do. Luckily they're pretty passive. I'm going to creep these guys up. I'm going to use hotkeys to make this faster. Now I feel in pretty good position for an assault, but unfortunately it's my round, so I can't really start firing astern. Let's pass. Remember, leadership rounds, command and control.
See a lot from up here.
Stern's going to soften these guys up, hopefully. Let's bolster, of course. You always want to do that to win a firefight. Ah, wow, that was nice. We got them red right away. Let's just do one more to be careful. Though when they're red, you're usually in pretty good shape for an assault. But why not be overly cautious once? But I want to keep the momentum going. Now here's my problem. What if they've got a leader in there who's going to rally them? The enemy gets a vote, right? So I can't make my assault this turn because it's Stern's turn up here. So what am I going to do? Ah, this is where your ace in the hole comes in. Your captain.
Field umpire taps his pencil against his clipboard as you get into position. Here we go. sniper-free view of the battlefield. Not perfect, but take a look at that house down there. The enemy is almost certainly inside. We could ring their bell with some artillery. Let's bring the thunder. Oh yeah, here comes some of it. Okay, so left-click the support button. Then we can do 105mm off map. Barrage this objective. There's 2 objectives. We'll go with this one down here. Undaunted. Oh. Flags go up. The exercise is paused as the ref checks their numbers, then verifies things with their rangefinder. Eventually, they agree that the 105 scored a good hit. That's the match, the math then. They look suppressed, so let's follow up on those buildings before they recover. Discerning enemy capabilities is a key point of the exercise, the field fire remarks and idly taps his clipboard. However, there is another small matter. Sarcasm +1 for please continue, dear ump. The umpire gestures down the hill at where a team of Stern's machine gunners have positioned the big wooden logs that represent their Browning 30 cal. Trouble is the weapon has a blind side in regards to the southern objective. Yell down to him. Draw in a deep breath and prepare to let your voice carry down. Change its facing. Select the unit, use the take command button. This. Okay. Right click in adjacent. Not just do that. I didn't think I was supposed to do that. Been a good thing. Okay. I don't think these guys can fight. We'll move these guys up. Oh, maybe. They're not in danger. We'll move these guys up. During assault. Rally. Or bolster.
We shall go forward.
And oh, well, that did nothing. That put these guys out in the open. Squad 2. Good. Let's try this. See what happens.
Geht's die Sohlmäuschen.
See what happens again. Turns left 5.
Hello, LT. I want to talk to you about one last nice aspect of your ace, your captain. He can influence troops adjacent. Doesn't sound that powerful, but it turns out to be quite efficient. So I'm going to have him bolster, I'll use hotkeys here, this adjacent member of your platoon. You didn't have to pay. Let's bolster these guys. Still didn't have to pay. Notice the enhanced movement. And if you want to be sneaky, you can even take command of one of my, or I'd say one of your platoon squads, and pay their initial activation for their move. That leaves you free to do whatever you might need to do. Assault, lead firefights, etc. You can also rally. Powerful.
Flags up, flags down. No one was quite sure what's going on. There's some yelling between the umpires about the bombardment, but it makes little sense. Finally, the umpire breaks out of their field radio. I think it's a radio. Look at that. Hope they can pare that rig down a mite before we deploy. Stern leads the weapons platoon. Dearborn has third platoon. But for this field problem, you are their captain. Your strategy is theirs. Both objectives need to be taken. At a glance at the umpire's clipboard, Sergeant Bennett remarks quietly as the two of you watch the radio operators. Going to rank your personal performance. That means leading an assault, bolstering squads, rallying squads, pressing the men, and shooting at the enemy. Smash. What's next, Captain? Sergeant Bennett asks as the two of you return to the field. Okay. Captain is a powerful unit to enhance order. Captain Lamb. Take command. Change the facing of the and do. I have to move it back. What do I have to do here? He's already facing south. Change the. Did that. What?
You know the drill.
Orders. He got some. Lieutenant Dearborn. Not leading. Bolster all the way down here. Just in a. I'm gonna move him over here.
What are you, stupid?
MG squad.
Come on!
Didn't do anything. Oh, change facing, right? There. Okay, finally figured it out. Right, so Lieutenant Dearborn, I want you to. I can't. These guys. Activate them. Try and get the captain to. Oh, I didn't want to do that. He's only got one order. Oh, remember bolster. Bolster them. He can't move. These guys, which these guys also in. Turn is leading the round. All right.
Zame!
By rally. Uh-oh. Bolster. Third squad.
Cotton balers, with me!
And assault. We just crapped out, Sergeant Bennett says as the ref rolls their dice and decide that the assault wouldn't work. Maybe we can shift the odds back in our favor. To assault, use a high morale unit and preferably bolster that squad player.
No can do!
Right? It looks good. I mean, I assault over here because they're flanked. Powering. Can't do it. Right. I think it's because he is leading right now and I can't switch. What happens? Turns left 4. You're by radio crackles. The exercise pauses. Comes the ump. Points towards the south edge of the field where 10 soldiers emerge from the brush wearing blue arms band. Who are they? Sarcasm +1. No idea, sir. They are now your responsibility. Those men out of the exercise area. While you're yelling at them, they'll be nickel company. Okay, so now I have to get these guys out of here. All right, activate this unit. Have them creep. Rail. Have the captain have him bolster nobody. Machine gun. All right, I'm gonna take it to the and see what happens. Secure this objective. No flags go up as the enemy squad continues. They're keeping their head down, but that building is tough stuff according to the refs. Okay, Stern. Orders on this building here. He can fire again. Gotta assault them. I know. He's inactive. All right, I'm gonna assault this position here. We will move down. Enemies. It failed. This first squad. Flag goes up. Casualties LT. At least that's how the umpire called it. But between you and me, they're just making stuff up. We should move on with the objective. Oh, they're shooting at me now. Right, I gotta this so Alright, I wanna take these objectives. Okay, bolster. Take that objective. Move. Go hand to hand. Failed. That sucks.
Gentlemen, open fire!
Okay. Alright, they're spent. Captain Lamb. Unit movement. Let's bolster these guys. Well, I didn't do what I thought. Second squad. More suppression. Right. Well, let's see what happens here. Hell, Captain Lamb. Activate. I didn't want to move, I wanted to activate. Alright. Like I have to go back and how to activate. None of these guys can do anything. They're all out of orders. 3 turns left to take these 2 objectives. They want to cut things short, LT. I just know it. Why? Maybe it's too hot. Maybe they're hungry. Maybe it's all part of their master plan. What does matter is that we're running out of time. Orders. But we got to take these objectives. Oh. Captain Lamb. And fix flank. assault this position. Far. Morale. Alright, got it. Alright, mortars. Yeah, we're gonna make the assault. Just relax. Rally.
Rally on me!
Alright. Ow. Bolster. Try that. Oh. No spotter. Would have been ideal to hit these guys while give me the Lieutenant Dearborn squad.
Gentlemen, follow me.
Now I can't. Oh. Have to assault, I know. I need people to move. Okay. Move them here. Okay. Bolster. Assault.
Fire!
To bolster him again and make another push. Sure. I can't. They're spent. Lieutenant Dearborn. Up. Failed to lead. Okay. Let's try, see what happens. I don't think I'm going to get through this one. I can't suppress them anymore. I know. Can't move anybody. One turn left. Flags go up. What the hell? Enemy bombardment, the field umpire indicates, and then writes something on a portion of his clipboard. Late as usual. Will be heavy enough to mark the end of this exercise and the beginning of the review. So the men got a major victory and I got a minor defeat. Exercise incomplete. All right. So I think my main problem with doing that was I didn't move them at all. And I probably should have moved a little closer to the objective instead of staying back. I also think I went for the guys down in the corner for no reason whatsoever. They weren't part of the equation. They were just there. So that was a lesson learned. Focus on the objectives. Going forward, I will have to keep that in mind. Anyway, that's going to do it for today's episode. If you guys liked it, hit the like button. If you have any thoughts, tips, or advice, put those in the comment section down below. There will be a link to Burden of Command's Steam page in the video description below the player. So go check them out, put them on your wish list, and give the demo a try for yourself here. If you want to follow along, hit the subscribe. Wouldn't mind having you come along. The more people that know more than me, the more advice I get, the better I become. That's my logic. J76NY saying thank you very much for watching and have yourself a very good day.